Welcome to Mandem Academy, the first lesson. This lesson is going to be tough and it's going to be taught by your boy here, KG. So first we're going to be talking about independent versus dependent variables. Variables is a touchy subject for Mandem, I've come to learn, because Mandem are always like, yo, how is x plus y? What is x plus y in math? The alphabet's not supposed to mix with math. How am I supposed to add x plus y? Or they even say, yo, I'm dropping math. Bun this, I'm done. Nah, fam. Don't done. Stay in high school, get your education, fam. I want you to make it and I'm gonna help you, fam. So you see, x plus y equals. What does that equal? It doesn't make much sense, to be honest. It makes it like it can't equal anything. Just from this much information, we can't figure it out. So you're right, fam. You can't add x plus y. But you see, x and y, they just represent something. Like, so if I make x 3 and then I make y 1, like all of a sudden it's 4. So it can make sense. But all in all, variables are just used to represent any number. And having this ability to represent any number becomes very useful in math. So let's get rid of that since we done discussed about variables. So now we have to discuss about independent and dependent variables. So in a function, you'll see two different types of notations. You'll see this notation that gets more common when you're older. And then you'll see this notation with a y. So for your dependent variable, function of x, f at x, is going to be your dependent variable. And same, y is going to be your dependent variable as well. So let's write dependent, because it depends on x. So that means x is going to be your independent variable. X is the same in both, so we can say that this is your independent variable. And then just for an extra thing, these 5s right here, they're what are known as constants, because they're constant, they don't change, they stay the same. But if you don't, like, 5 will always equal 5. Like, you don't believe me? I'll bust out the calculator right now. 5 equals 5 equals 5 equals 5 equals 5. 5 is always going to equal 5 no matter how much times you press equal, because it's a constant. So it's going to say the same. So now we'll talk about the independent variable first, because it's most important. So for the independent variables, when you hear the word independent in the English language, what comes to mind? Of course, Neo, like, all mans used to bump that Miss Independent track back in the day, like, Miss Independent. You guys all know about that track. So Miss Independent and independent variables, they're very simple. Like, Miss Independent got her own thing. She can do whatever she wants. She can buy this. She can have a man. She doesn't have to have a man. Just like X, yo. X can do his own thing. X can be like, yo, X, I want to equal 1, bro. I want to equal 300. I want to equal -2. X can be whatever he wants, because it has its own thing, just like Miss Independent. So whenever you're thinking about independent variables, just think of your boy Neo. So now we can talk about the dependent variables. Like, since we're talking about Miss Independent anyway, we might as well talk about Miss Independent's man. Like, we all have that brethren that's always varying directly to his shorty. Like, we asked him to go out. You're like, yo, all mandems are flying to a lit party tonight, fam, fly. And then he'll say thing like, nah, my girl said me and her can have a party if we want to go out and party. I'm not allowed to party with you guys. Or even the worst, when you're playing 2K on the blacktop and you're talking online, and you're like, yo fam, inbound the ball. Hello? Yo bro, we gonna get that 5-second violation, fam. Fam, that's a turnover. And then he just comes back. He's like, yeah, I'm back, fam. And he's like, yo, where did we go? We needed that bucket, dog. We're down 3 points, fam. And then he's like, yo, my shorty knit me a fluffy sweater and I had to go try it on. She called me. I'm sorry, fam. So one of those ones. Just like y is the same way. It directly varies to x. So y is nothing without x. Like, if we make x in this equation 0, so 2 times 0 is 0 plus 5, y equals 5. If we make x 1, 2 times 1 plus 5, that equals 7. So y will be 7. Even if we try and say that y equals 3, that only happens when x equals -1. So let me get some more space. So if a man like X, so if a man like Y wants to be like, yo, I'm 3, and X is like, nice that I'm 0, Y has to nice that because Y is gonna become 5 again. And that's what it has to be. So whenever you're thinking about dependent and independent variables, just think of your boy Neo, because that song, it works in real life, it works in math, it works in everything. Neo knew what he was talking about. That guy's an educated man. Shout out to Neo, yo.